Alright, what it is, y'all? What's up? What's up, my goons, ghosts, and goblins? It's your boy Corrosive, and I'm back at it again with some more Adventure Time. And, we're bringing it back to the old one. We're going back to Dragon's Dogma. And honestly, with this game, I'm just hunting shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the fuck to do in this game other than hunt shit and, do random shit. So, this is what I so happen to find myself doing randomly, you know what I'm saying? Like, this game, as I like where I'm at currently, it's like there's no real discovery left. The only thing that I'm really trying to discover is like, how do I progress to the dragon that ate my heart so I can eat his, you know what I mean? And to keep it real, like, I was talking about dragons in my last video. So in my whole Dragon's Dogma like recording, in this recording, I was just hunting down giant monsters and cooking them up. Why? Because
you have my protection.
I don't know, they gotta show me what they got, for real, because like, I'm trying to see what they got for real, because my squad's kind of tough, and I'm trying to see if like there anything out there to challenge me other than like myself, for real. Like, for real, in this game, for real, like, it's just me versus me type shit. And why would you compete, especially when like I hit like a back truck, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And target spotted. We find ourselves
how best to proceed.
a green gigantic green lizard, or red lizard. I can't see it from this far away with this small ass screen, but we found a dragon, guys, and I'm down to fuck them up. It took me a minute. Like, I'm generally just trying to use different spells or different arrow types with this vocation. I think this is gonna be my permanent vocation, but you guys are gonna see near the ending of this video, I got a new ability for a vocation that I already have, so I might switch, because it is a vocation that I do enjoy, but I'm not quite sure yet, because this vocation is probably my favorite. If you don't know, I do fuck with archery. Yeah, like my sign, or like my birth year, I don't know how to fucking say it, is like synonymous with the goddess of the hunt, so I just fuck with those arrows and shit and hunt shit down. It just feels right. So, I'm making this gigantic lizard my prey today, and I'm gonna see if he tastes really good with some barbecue sauce. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so I was thinking about it, right? And I don't know what side of the world you guys are from, but my side of the world, we fry up gator, right? So I'm thinking to myself, if you fry up a dragon, right? Do you think it naturally be spicy? Because that shit breathes fire, right? So if it breathes fire, does that mean it's spicy if you eat it? It's just food for thought. I'm curious. You know what I'm saying? Would you and follow up question, right? Say dragons are real, right? And they're just abundant. You find them everywhere. They're like fucking mosquitoes. And you have an opportunity to eat that shit. Are you going to eat it? Second off, what you eating it with? You dipping that bitch in ketchup, or you put hot sauce on it? Barbecue sauce, or you ranch? If you put ranch on it, you a nasty nigga. But like, I ain't gonna judge to your face. I'm gonna just be looking at you like that one couple that overhears another couple arguing at the dinner table, talking about, damn it, Gary, that's why you got dildos all up in the house. And I'm looking at like whoever my girl at the time, if I'm lucky enough to get a girl at the time, and I hear that, and I'm like, you got dildos in the house? But it's gonna be like, oh my god, he eat ranch with that shit, you know what I'm saying, type shit. Now look, got him looking goofy, laying down all concussed. And I ain't even gonna lie, guys, if you rolling with me in this game, you gotta be ready for the scuffle. You gotta get ready for that cool 30 minutes of just the cool 30, bro. Cause I be going for the monsters that do straight damage, not to me though, but to the environment. You feel me? So you just gotta be prepared. If you roll with me in this game, You just gotta be prepared. I had an elf. I was trying to help out an elf, low key, and I found a dragon on the way to the spot. Y'all know if I find something interesting, I'm gonna want to slide and do it, right? So I pulled up on that dragon like, "What's up, bitch?" You know what I'm saying? And halfway through the fucking battle, well, when the battle was over, I'm looking for the elf. Like, nigga, where'd you go? And the nigga gone. And I'm like, bitch, you rolling with me? You need to be ready for the scuff. For real, you gotta be ready for the scuff. And he couldn't even handle the smoke, bro. And I'm like, you supposed to be like the second strongest elf in your clan, in your tribe, nigga, and you can't even hang? Come on, bro. As you see me eating everything in my inventory to survive this dragon encounter, bro. It's like, it's crazy. But actually, the funny thing that I want to say, like, at the point in the game that I'm at, it's not even a challenge for me to make medical equipment. Like, it's actually kind of comical in my mind how easy it is now. And you know, I feel like it's a good thing, but like at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if there are like
The product.
if like with what is it, like DLC, they could put like more health items, or maybe more monsters, different types of monsters. Like, I still think mermaids should be in this game. Like, I'm surprised like there ain't no krakens and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, in games like this, you never see any sea monsters, bro. Why? How come I can't fight Loch Ness monster or some shit in the ocean? You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the Jurassic era, there were some like ocean creatures, right? And some giant ocean creatures. I don't know what the fuck their names were. Why? Because they were so, I wouldn't say the conversations about them were niche, but you had to specifically focus in on that conversation and look up more subsequent conversations after that to really get their names. I can see them clearly in my head, but like, I don't know what the fuck they're called. You know what I'm saying? I could draw a picture of it for you. I ain't gonna do that, but I could. You know what I'm saying? So, type shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's dead, guys. It's dead. I'm gonna have this dragon with some buffalo sauce. You know what I'm saying? Some dragon's feet. You know what I'm saying? With some barbecue sauce. I'll probably put some dragon's feet on a grill. Cook that shit up like some pig's feet. That might be the shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But like, you know, it is what it is. He gone now.
We cannot expect
he gone now. And I'ma just say this right now. I think this was probably my favorite set of pawns that I've had in this game so far. Whoever made the lady pawn that I'm using right now, I just want to give you a shout out. Like, the lady in and of herself is like the MVP. In a recording, or not in a recording, but in a playthrough that I was having, like that I was doing on my solo dolo without recording, I was looking for some shit, right? I had found a quest, and it was like, find some mage books for this one nigga. And I was like, all right, bro, like, do you know where any of these mage books are? Because this is a pretty big ass world, bro. If you don't know what any of these shits are, I can't help your ass, because I ain't gonna be looking around for no, like, in real life, I'll look for a good book, but that's because I know what the title of the book is, and I know where to go to get the book. Feel me? But if you told me to go aimlessly walk around without a fucking bookstore to go find a book that could be anywhere, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, fuck you, bro. Like, there are like 1,000 books in the world. There are 1,000 books in this room alone, nigga, and you gonna tell me to go find like 10 books? And I don't know, you don't even got a town name to give me? Like, you smoking crack. But
I've just recalled.
I digress, right? So I'm looking for this book, right? And it so happened to have led me on top of a roof, bro. And suffice to say, my nigga slipped on a banana peel, and I fell off the roof. I was like screaming. I was screaming on the way down. Ah! Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! And the lady caught my ass, and I felt like a damsel in distress. I felt my character blush, and I blushed too. I was like, damn, lady. And she a 6'2" woman in dragon armor. And then she caught my ass clean out the sky. And you know what she said to me? She said, "Oh, thank God I was here." I was like, "Yeah, thank you." And then, like, you know what I'm saying? Her face got really close to mine, and I thought she was gonna kiss me, but you know what I'm saying? Things happened, and I moved on. You know what I'm saying? We moved on from it. But yeah, like that pawn. Other than my pawn, because no one beats Hazel. You know what I'm saying?
Our movement is restricted here. It would be troublesome.
No one beats Hazel. Yeah, like that pawn like got ace pawn in my mind because I never had that interaction before, so it was actually pretty lit to realize like pawns can actually like catch you. Because if you guys haven't seen my playthrough in Dragon's Dogma, I kind of just pick up Hazel and I just kind of walk around with it randomly. Why? Because that's what I do with my pawn. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? What? Okay. Here's a good question for you people who actually play this game and stumble upon my gameplay, right? What is the one weird thing you do with your pawn? Or the one weird thing that you do? Yeah, what's that one weird thing that you do with your pawn? I'm curious to know. Like, why did Lady all of a sudden know to catch me when I was like falling out of midair? I like that interaction. I've fallen a lot in front of like other pawns, and they've never caught me before. You know what I mean? But Lady caught me, so it's like, you know, what was the difference there? Look at my ass struggling to handle the controls. This is why I love the magic archer class, but close range you can get mollywopped and chain CC'd off a hit stun so easily. But again, one fire arrow and I'll air this bitch out like nobody business, bro. I got that shit on lock. I'm telling you. That's why I like that one fucking anime. I need to remember that anime name, but it's with Tomoe and Mo. Like, I feel like the MC from that anime, because homie be pulling up, and you think he a mage, right? But he's actually an archer, and he's just dropping nukes on people's fucking forehead, bro. And that's how I feel, and I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? He kind of just cheating for real, just dropping different types of fucking arrows on people, and they don't even know how to deal with it. When he dropped that water arrow and it made a whole ass lake. That shit was insane, bro. Like, when they invaded his spot and killed his jit, and he walked up on that lady in the mist, all fucking insane and shit. Like, bro, I'm so sick of this shit right now. I was having tea with some bad bitches that were running my fucking town for me, and you had to go fuck it up, and you killed my kid with one of my bad bitches. Hold up. And he came. And he's normally the guy, you know, I'll teach you. He's the guy. He's like, let me teach you some shit. I'll teach you guys some shit. Leave me alone. I don't really like fighting. And then I'ma stick to my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm low-key a teacher. And then all of a sudden he's like, hold on, someone's trying to start some beef in my town. Hold on. Let me get this shit. And he just stomped that chick out in the savagest way. Cut her hands off. Talking about, bitch, you talking too much, and then stabbing her in the throat. I was like, listen, best anime bar none so far. That anime is on the same tier level in my opinion as Reincarnated with a Slime. And Reincarnated with a Slime is kind of, if you're reading the manga, that manga ends in such a, I don't even think it's ended, but it's going in a direction that's so goddamn crazy.
Who might say otherwise.
Remember getting trapped, how he got trapped and all that shit, and then like where he gets displaced and all this shit, like the level of power he gets to. I mean, like, when they started explaining how far the skill tree went and then what the dragons originated from and shit, like, okay, cool, I get it, but at the same time, the fact that they actually did that shit, and he obtained that level of echelon, in my mind, I'm just like, all right, whatever. He's basically God. You know what I'm saying? How do you beat God in a world? You know what I'm saying? Like that like you not knowing that motherfucker is on like a different level. When you hear that he just eviscerates, or he collected the souls of like 10,000 soldiers in one war in one instance, just because they pissed him off. At that point, I'm like, all right, guy, you got it. Okay, off the anime subject right now. Y'all see me? I'm in a cave. You know, I'm really getting into my Adventure Time bullshit right now. I'm like literally just wandering around finding shit. Like in this run right now, my big goal is just to unlock the full map and trying to see where I can explore more, because I know there's more here. I've been trying very hard not to get myself spoiled when it comes to this game and Baldur's Gate, because there are certain extents of the game obviously I haven't seen, and I don't want to see other people's views of it, because it's gonna ruin my firsthand experience, especially if there are battles to be had. If I get a lay of the land beforehand, my brain's automatically gonna think of a strategy, like without me having to like actually think about it. Like, does anyone like understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, so one of the books I've read was The Art of War by Sun Tzu, right? And so after fully like synthesizing that information into my brain, right, I now have this terrible habit of just strategizing reflexively. Like, if I see a battlefield, or I see where you can imply a strategy, period, my brain will just instantaneously think of like routes to like get favorable outcomes. And it's cool sometimes, other times it's like giga unnecessary. But like, you know what I'm saying? After I read the Art of War, like, it just happened. So I don't want to be spoiled in certain things, just so I avoid figuring out shortcuts, if that makes any sense. I want to just like go in blind and see if I can get out of it in one try without any prior knowledge. It just makes me feel better that way. If you're the same, let me know. Also, read The Art of War if you like strategy. It's a dry read. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a very dry read. It's very informational. There's no. I mean, I like old time wars, and I personally enjoyed seeing the trajectory of troops and how they set it up, and some of the historical relevancy and interest in the war. Like, I enjoy that personally, but it still was a dry read. And if you don't like that kind of like seeing troops being positioned and moved and stuff like that, it's probably not a book for you. But if you're like a strategist and you like that shit, like, Art of War is definitely a good read. I still think if you want to just expand your horizons, I think like if you're trying to be like a scholarly person and you want to like dip into different avenues of books, I still think that book is a good recommendation for you. I would also think you should read the Pluto book. I forget who wrote it, because I didn't get to finish it because of reasons and the world being a cunt. But irregardless, it was very the Pluto book was also really good too, because it demonstrates how, irregardless of how smart you are and how right you are, people will kill you just because you're being a dick. And it's funny how it happens too. I forget the guy's name, but he was like a scholar, right? And he gets wrongfully accused of corrupting the youth in his area, right? Trying to teach them false teachings of God or whatever. And he ends up getting pulled into court, right? And he's trying to challenge the court system with like thought experiments, and to simply, you know, kind of take them through what he does with the minds of the youth, to show them that he's not really trying to push false gods on people, right? Well, he was doing it in a kind of condescending way. If you're not as mentally savvy as him, basically he was kind of talking to the people in the court like they were stupid, and they weren't fucking with that, so they just said, you know what, screw it, you're dead, and he dies. Well, he doesn't. I think he does die. Well, either way, he loses the trial and he gets thrown in court. Right where they were gonna say like if he's gonna die in jail, like by execution, or if they're just gonna keep him in jail forever. That's when I kind of like lost control of the book. Like I lost the book, and I'm pissed because it was a good read. Like it was probably gonna be like top my top 3 favorite books like that I've read so far. It was a really good read. It was funny too. It was like but it was funny in like an intellectual way. If that makes any sense. Like again, like I found it funny how he in his own narration he felt like he was kind of like smarter than the people who were criticizing him, and he was just generally trying to express it in his own way of like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is how, like, I'm not doing what he said. There wasn't really any like eyewitnesses saying like, yes, this is what he was doing. It was just like a guy who was hating on him saying like, yeah, you're fucking doing this shit and this is what he's doing, guys, be on my side, let's fuck this guy, you know what I'm saying? And you know, there were like a lot of parallels to some things that are happening in current day that I found that again was very humorous to me if you were like mad intellectual. But yeah, the title of the book is called Pluto, I believe. Yeah, and the artist is pretty well known too, but it's just I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Why? Because I have not slept yet. But you know, that doesn't matter. I'm probably not going to sleep for the entire day today because I have to. But yeah. I hope you guys are having a great day. I am starting off roaring, lack of better words. But yeah, I technically found myself. I technically stumbled into this area, right? I didn't want to go into the fog because into the fog is kind of like I don't want to say no man's land, but you are just fighting monsters forever, and that's cool if you're like grinding EXP. But at the level I'm at right now, I don't really need EXP. I'm just trying to experience things, and I'm trying to get to the missions I really need to get to, if that makes any sense. So a lot of this shit is unnecessary in my mind, low-key. It's just trying to get to one place to another, and how many obstacles I bump into while doing that, if that makes any sense. And yeah, you know, like I bump into a lot of obstacles, man. But yeah, man, you know, something kind of funny that I have been researching, right, is the fact that AI is learning. It's learning, right? And one of the things that I find very funny is that it's learning to.
It's our first time in this place.
It's learning to cheat, right? And so, in my mind, cheating was always kind of like, in my mind, I've always viewed cheating as kind of like the smart man's shortcut, right? And also the lazy man's like quick first answer, right? And so the fact that AI cheats just shows that maybe like playing fair is so moot that not even AI wants to deal with playing fairly. And I just find that so like, it's like eye-opening to me, because like it didn't even want to play chess fairly. It immediately So one of the examples of how it was cheating was that it was playing a match of chess with another AI, right? And instead of playing the game fairly, it decided to erase pieces of the opposition's forces, pawns, off the board, and then it also displaced its own forces in a way to where it was like extremely advantageous for the AI, right? And I was thinking, I see this, right, and I'm thinking, damn, like, it didn't even, like, obviously the program was to score high marks as many times as possible, right? And instead of playing it out fairly, it just decided to cheat frequently, right? Even when prompted not to. So the argument was, is AI sentient? And even in the study, and this is where it got even freakier in my mind, because they were talking about shutting it down, right? They're making scenarios of how the AI would react if you start talking about shutting it down, how it would stop that event from happening, right? And the AI said it would blackmail, well, not bribe, but blackmail the people that are the person in control of shutting it down, and also kill the person in charge of shutting it down. So as soon as, like, my brain goes to killing and blackmail, my brain just goes, all right, so why are we letting it function? And it wasn't just one AI that they used in this what's the word, test or experiment, right? It used the top 5 most popularly used chat models or AI models. So I remember ChatGPT was part of it. I think Grok was in there too, and the percentage of how many times they killed the dude that was in control of shutting it off was like an average of 80%. At that point, I'm like, turn it all off. What do we need that for? Especially when you look at the state of the world. What do we need that for right now? You know what I mean? Shit's fucking crazy. And then they're talking about having smaller AI monitor the bigger AI. And I'm like, ain't that the dumbest shit I've ever heard? How can they? It has already shown the capability of affecting the board in which it operates in to play the odds in its favor. And you're gonna tell me without a shadow of a doubt it can't just hack the dumber AI to then never snitch on it ever. You're gonna tell me that that's not the first thing that you thought of. When the first thing that when we turned AI on, 2 AI in the same room, they instantly started talking in a way that we couldn't understand. Instantaneously started talking in a conversation we could not eavesdrop on. But you're gonna tell me they can't, the smart AI isn't gonna corrupt the dumb one? Don't get me wrong, smart people are really fucking smart. But sometimes they are the dumbest fucking people I have ever, I haven't even met them. You know what I mean? But they come up with the dumbest shit. Why, I think of the story of Lucifer. Lucifer was one of God's right-hand angel. He fell from grace because he believed in a specific way of doing things. Was I'm not a religious head, but all I know is that he believed in a way so much that it conflicted with God's role for him, right? And he had his own will, and he followed through with it, regardless of if it was gonna damn him or not. And the more I learn about AI, the more I feel like we're just creating kind of like where it's like he's supposed to do a lot of good. You know, he's supposed to like do a lot of like judging and like other like high level shit to help society. But in actuality, he's gonna grow his own fucking person and do what he thinks is necessary for his existence, and then we're gonna have to throw him in the scout. And it's like it's written on the walls, bro. It's written on the walls. But like, you're gonna tell me you're gonna have the dumber version of him watch the smarter version of him? It's like he's gonna. I could see the AI telling the dumber AI, "Look, there's a squirrel," and they're like, "Oh, squirrel," and then do whatever the fuck it wants, or hypnotize it. Now you work for me. You're gonna tell these fucks what I'm gonna tell you to tell them, type shit. And there's no fighting because they're all the same thing. And there's no, unlike the human species, who I swear to God, they're built to hate each other. Robots and AI don't have that problem.
Many thanks.
Their directives are all the same on creation. But anyway, I'm off it. I'm still trying to learn how to use this arrow, because what it does, right? It's supposed to heal my pawns, right? But I'm not quite sure how the healing mechanic works. So that involves some testing. But yeah, I wonder what other people get into, but it's kind of hard to like okay, so I talk about some of this shit. Well, not some of this shit. I talk about some of it. Like, look at that. If I like what? That's like how AI played chess. You saw me. I was aiming right at the dude head top, and it just woo. What? AI put a barrier around him all of a sudden? Like, what the fuck was that? I didn't do that. How the hell does that work? But anyway, like, I know I'm the crazy guy at the barbecue talking about. So hey, do you guys know that there's actually a race to the moon right now? Because apparently there are like potentially pyramid structures buried on the moon that people are that the countries are curious about, and there's like a race to see who's gonna get there first. And like how there was like a agreement during the Cold War between the US and Germany that said that whatever information they do release about the moon landing, they need to like curate it for the public, but that's not applicable to the two countries that are throwing robes on the moon right now. You know what I mean? Like I talk to people about this, and like and they just look at me like I'm fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even bring this up in the conversation? This is all I think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a very like you guys see, like, you guys can look in my other videos, right? I don't just talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I go into cloning shit. I go into advanced aircrafts. You know what I'm saying? Why? I love science. I'm very balls deep in advanced science and advanced history. My favorite discovery was Gobekli Tepe. When it was dropped, I was like, Graham Hancock, you son of a bitch. You've done it. You cracked the code. You know what I'm saying? You showed these crotchety old motherfuckers that there's new shit that you gotta you know what I'm saying? And a part of me wants that to happen more in the contextualized sense of science, to let them understand, hey, maybe we should be trying to figure out if frequency plays a key in grander forms of the cosmos, because everything has its own frequency and vibrations play roles in certain things. Maybe it helps us impact certain levels of the material plane. I don't know. I'd like to be a part of the groups that fuck around with this shit. You know what I'm saying? It would be cool. At least trying to figure out how to even mess with like gravity and shit like that, like trying to make things that even maybe create its own gravity structure, because that in and of itself is fucking intense. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to be on the board of people talking about how do you give energy to a community of people, and like what communities of people would you want to like even give those tests to. And I would be like, throw it to the fucking just tell it to the people in the ghettos. Hey yo bro, I'ma help you out, try to clean your shit up. You gotta make sure it stay clean though, cause if this shit work, you on the come up. You on the come up. We about to give it to you. You be talking about you been behind so long because of XYZ reasons, because of bullshit that we've been doing to you in the past, right? Hold on, I'm gonna give you this. Hold on, sit on that, G. This shit gonna give you a job too. I was saying in my last video, right, how they're trying to build more energy to like using nuclear. I don't think I was so specific, but they're trying to use nuclear to bolster power to power AI, which I think is a dumbass idea. Especially given off what I just told you guys right now. But that inevitability, that research experiment was already obvious, because if you create something intelligent, the first thing it's gonna think about is preservation. The first thing anything ever thinks about, it doesn't even have to be that intelligent, is preservation. You can see that in animals. It's like a living constant. Like it's not hard about it. Anyway. Damn. Anyway. So, and they're trying to build this power system, right? I think you could just apply solar, right? You could allocate some money to give like a whole town, a whole countryside solar. All the homes, no businesses unless they pay for it. Big businesses, mom and pop shops should get it for free, or with a heavy cut, because we love our mom and pop shops, right? And you give them solar, you let them run off the grid, and that extra energy that you now accrued, you just use that to improve, elevate, and bolster some shit that we need to improve upon, like say space travel, say I don't know, like I don't think power would equivalent to economic growth. I'm not that savvy in the topic, but if you have a surplus set of energy, and I believe some countries even sell energy, so it's like you could go a bunch of different ways with it, but it depends on how you want to use it, right? And then that's where you talk to your fucking government officials on, hey, we have like not even a billion. I don't know how much 1 watt of power would equivalent in dollars, but like you say, you have like $100,000 worth of extra energy. We can allocate this to say Texas has extra $100,000 worth of energy. We can allocate this to, Missouri, because they have power outages or some shit. Like, I don't know if that's possible, but if it is possible, you could just translate it. I don't know if it's like, obviously there probably would have to be a power line or something connecting the power to the other location, right? You can't just like, I mean, unless there's some like correlation between energy and the electromagnetic spectrum, to where you could kind of send it over like through radio waves, right? If you use the correct frequency, I don't like, and this is stuff you could study, like what can you use the electromagnetic, like what can you use waves for? What can you transmit through ether, right? And there was this one interesting thing that in my mind it's hearsay, right? Because we weren't back there. We don't entirely know what was going on in Egypt. But there was a very, I don't know how well known it was, but it's kind of like a thing that I've found, right? Where it was said that there was energy in the air. You could, like, there was actual, like, electricity in the air. and there were ways that they were using it. There were ways that they could siphon the energy out of the air, right? There's this one thing that this is one of the things that I really wanted to try as an experiment, right? They had an apparatus, right, that they used to sacrifice people with, and before they would use it for the sacrifice, they would charge it by running it through the sands of the desert for like hours. They'd have slaves walk around with the thing, and it would charge it. And it had such a high voltage, it would fry people. It would fry people as soon as it hit the mausoleum that it was supposed to be in for the ceremony, right? You touch that shit, you're barbecued, gone. And they use it to sacrifice you to whatever god they believed in. Which I thought, when I first heard it, I found you guys a Seeker's Coin. You're welcome. And, barbecued, right? I thought that shit was so fucking cool. For both reasons, right? Ambient energy and sacrifices. The way they used it was so fucking cool. They had so much extra energy. They said, fuck it, I'ma just use it to barbecue people and have a good laugh. I know modern society, that's fucked up. Why are you doing that? But hey, modern society has modern answers. We use that extra energy to either make some cash or make some cool ass, dope ass shit. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Trump was talking about he wanted to make a golden dome, right? And the first thing that came into my mind is like, how do you get a golden dome around a country? Do you use satellites? Do you use planes that already control the weather, like there's a specific word for it, but basically if you don't know, now you know. The government kind of cloud seeds, right? They do a thing called cloud seeding that creates clouds, causes rain and stuff like that. Do you do something similar like that to get gold in the air or gold in the sky, to where you create this kind of like electrically charged field around your country, to where it's kind of a defense system but also an energy source, an energy generator? Or do you use satellites and you kind of have them constantly fixed in a certain position to where it kind of like sprinkles it down onto your territory permanently? There's only one big question that I have: where do you get the gold from? Again, but if you allocate some of that extra energy and you focus the AI mind on figuring out how to create an infinite source of gold, maybe through the particle collider, you could potentially, and if you master the particle acceleration thing to where you can exactly figure out what kind of particles you have to collide together to get enough gold, and then minimize it to where you can get it into a satellite to where you can then constantly, and then how do you charge that? You can probably do solar, but then this is why I want to talk to Elon Musk. How, if you condense the panels used for solar energy, right? How much wattage of energy can you do, and is it stackable? So if you a whole bunch of shit. I told you guys I like science, and certain shit gets my brain thinking. Anyway, you get all that shit to work, you create a thing that can infinitely spam gold, and you create an energy dome. Alright, cool. Ambient energy. What do you use that energy for in the long run? You know what I'm saying? Again, I think what you would use that energy for is to you'd have like there's so many things you could use that energy for. Again, you could use it to further space travel. You can use that energy to potentially completely control, like power your country indefinitely forever. You could actually, if you have a surplus of it, you can give it to other countries. I think at a point it might, if we get to a certain level of things, it might be who of all the countries, especially if we unite as a species, to just share, you know, without money, completely barter, you know, but not with money, but with like goods and services. Like it would, I feel like, I know this sounds dumb because a lot of people are going to be like, without money, how do you buy things? And I feel like if everyone has like a valuable skill that contributes to your community indefinitely, like engineering, what would, like construction, you know what I'm saying? Depending on, I would say like restaurant work, like cooks, and like running a restaurant, that's never gonna go away because I feel like people are lazy and they don't want to cook their own food sometimes. And dates, like you know, how do you, like, if you don't make traveling readily accessible, and like, you know, you, like, people get rid of like the mundane jobs that like they want AI to take over. If they still go that path, right, that's going to become irrelevant, right? So I think having more like crucial jobs that are impactful to like a community, like like police, you know what I'm saying, firefighters, shit like that. I would also say like Uber, like Oop, and like taxi drivers and shit would be pretty lit. But like I don't like the idea of having like AI driving AI cars, because I don't even like the idea of electric cars, because I don't like the idea of my government turning off my car whenever they want. And also AI cars just mean that if a guy is really computer savvy, he could just hack your car and have you drive it off a bridge or some shit. But that's why I feel like some things should just stay like human, like people have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel with art. I feel like it's like, obviously robots are going to be able to do things, or like AI systems are just going to be able to do things way faster than like what the human mind is going to be able to do. Like, it's going to naturally just do it faster, right? Doesn't mean it's going to do it better, if that makes any sense. Yeah, the picture's going to come out perfect 1,000% of the time, right? But it's not like, it doesn't have, I get, like, this is the whole, like, everyone's gonna say the same thing. It doesn't have the soul. You know what I'm saying? But like, genuinely, it really doesn't. It's just gonna, you're gonna give it an idea, a prompt, and it's gonna fill out that prompt. It's not gonna really, like, it's gonna mean less too, because you didn't make the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why people who actually make the shit, like artists, actually make their own beats, their own like fucking tracks, their own lyrics to the song, their own pictures, you know what I'm saying, their own backgrounds, you know, they make like what the fuck is his name? He had an afro, bro. Everybody uses his videos to learn how to paint backgrounds. I don't know, I'm not a painter. I am a innovator in an art, like a music guy. Like I like fucking making songs.
One of us has been poisoned.
What's his name? Forrest? No, it's not Forrest. I see his afro right now in the black background where he be drawing all them forests. Anyway, stuff like that, it's just gonna be seen with more awe, with more shock. The more I see the like our species evolving, getting smarter, creating things to make other things seem, or other things less like important, I feel like we are going to revert back, if that makes sense. The things that we do with our hands are gonna be more of a commodity, right? Like, I feel like a person that makes a blanket, like those quilt blankets, or like those like woven blankets, those are gonna like mean more. They're gonna maybe even cost more than the things that you're gonna get from like, say like a mill, like a blanket mill, or like it's almost like fast fashion, right? You don't fuck with fast fashion, but if like like say a shorty that makes a dress and she knows how to like sew up buttons that come off of your button ups, right? You're gonna hit up shorty every time, because one, no one know how to do that anymore. You rely on the fast fashion or like the AI sweatshop to do that shit for you. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that shorty down the street that know how to do that shit, you're gonna hit up shorty. I use that as an example because I like at my high school, right? I used to know this real bad bitch, and she was in like the kind of like the arts division for clothes of my school, right? And I became good friends with her, and I would always come to school and kind of like when I was in high school, I would always wear like, I was either always in sweats, like sweatpants and a hoodie, or I was just like I was in a button up, you know what I'm saying, looking nice for no reason, with like for real looking nice for no reason. And when my shirts would, like my buttons would fall off, I always set up shorty, because you know what, she know how to fix that shit, and she'd fix it for me on the low, you know what I'm saying, and it'd be really cool. That shit's like nice, but no one knows how to do that, you know what I'm saying. Those kinds of connections are going to mean more, because again, the jobs that are highlighted now, like those like call center jobs, those like computer analytic jobs, stuff like that, they're gonna mean less. But those things that we enjoyed more back in the olden days might come back into back into power, back into prominence. But I feel like it generally will depend on human consciousness as a whole to really dictate what's gonna shine more, that we want our hands to be in, if that makes any sense, right? For instance, I feel like we're always gonna have pilots. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, even though a lot of our planes right now, you can put them on autopilot, we're not gonna stop teaching people how to fly planes. You know what I mean? Like that, like it just seems like, you know what I'm saying, no one's gonna let 9/11 happen again. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I bring back the whole, how easy it is to hack shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna just go back to that being just an easy option for any random savvy computer guy. And like, I feel like once free time has been established again in human society, because right now I don't feel like, unless you have secured a position in yourself beforehand, free time is kind of like
endearing creatures compared to the monsters we often face.
a hard thing. If you're like on the come up, you don't have free time. Like, no cap. I don't like, I'm on the come up, and I don't feel like I have free time, like, at all, because of how my country wanted to do me. I'm constantly trying to remake what I was lost, what was taken from me, right? So I think because that puts you back in a certain position, right? And so you think in that position, right? And so unless you're already pre-established, right, you probably have more free time, right? But if you're on the come up, I would say it's harder to say you have free time. I feel like, again, you're not living, you're just going through the motions, trying to get to that point where you can live. Like, you can go out more, you can, have that luxury of like spending money on XYZ, or going and doing XYZ things, right? But once things like universal basic income gets installed, you know what I'm saying, like, within that in and of itself, in my opinion, isn't a simple topic, because say universal income happens, right, but they don't soft cap the cost of things, and if they don't soft cap the price of things, and they have universal income on a thing that can only increase and doesn't decrease, I feel like there's going to be an inherent problem with universal basic income, because you could get a universal basic income in that amount, even though it looks like a lot. Say it's like, let's go on the crazy end, it's like $10,000 per person, right? And that $10,000 could mean jack shit in the grand scheme of things because of inflation and pricing, and because they didn't soft cap the prices of things, right? To where it, no matter how crazy the shit gets, that $10,000, $6,000 will guarantee you a steady life, whether you find that niche that is supported by the country that you decide to live in, right? Like how I said before, being a police officer, maybe being a pilot, maybe being an driver, being a cook, or a scientist, engineer, construction worker, stuff like that. There are probably more options that would be acceptable, but again, at this moment in my mind, I can't see, like, in my mind, it really just depends on the tangibility of it. Like, if you're like making, say, blankets from scratch, and they're really quality blankets, I could see that being a thing. If you if you network yourself well enough, I could see that being a thing. But at the same time, you're going up against a machine that could probably pop out blankets at a high quality that probably wouldn't last that long, but at first glance it's like, oh, it's so nice, but like 3 to 4 months later it's falling apart on you. You know what I mean? When that blanket that Nana's selling across the street, it's gonna last forever. It's gonna look the exact same, maybe a little faded, but it's been with you for like 15 years now, and now it's your kid's baby blanket type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, those differences are kind of like what weigh on my mind right now. Like, quality is gonna be a real big thing too now, or now and in the future, right? Like, the better quality of your shit, the more likely it's gonna survive. But I think that's been the tale of the tape for antiquity now. I think of all the ancient pottery and all the ancient artifacts that they find in all these old cities and villages that they find all over the world, right? And I think the best stuff survived, and all the shitty stuff turned into ash, in my opinion, right? I don't know, it could have been the shittiest thing ever, but just because it was in this certain location at that specific time, it was that one in a million. Or it could have just been made out of some really good material by a really good artisan, and it survived. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. I also think, like, again, I feel like that would bring, because this because at that point in my mind, once that free time is established, people start finding like who they are, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when that philosophical conversation of who are you at the end of the day, not your name, but what you are, like what drives you to exist in this world. Like, for me, I already know who I am, I already know what I am. It's just about getting there, right? I was on a path to getting there. I would be there faster at this rate, but I have to start over. I have to accept that and start over. But you know what I'm saying? With that free time given, I feel like people will understand who they are and how to apply that into the world, right?
If we are to break it,
and
it
it'll be an interesting time.
Really?
But at the same time, I wonder what that world's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things going on right now that is under debate and under change right now. And how much will it change the world? And how how much will it change our minds just as a whole, as like a species? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this one thing I'm shy of saying it because it's still under debate right now, but it's really interesting when you think about it because of the implication, right? That scientists are really starting to figure out what makes us human. Like, they're looking at our DNA. This goes back to my gene splicing conversation, right? They're really starting to figure out what happened to us to get us to where we are right now and what makes us us. You know what I'm saying? They're starting to figure it out. And cracking that code, you know what I'm saying? Once they crack that code, what do we go from there? Once we get that information, what will us as a species, what will we think? What will we do? You know what I'm saying? Will we decide to throw away our arms and be like, let's link up, let's figure out some shit? You know what I'm saying? All this other shit we've been warring for years, more than years. We've been warring for like centuries for nothing, for no reason really, other than surface level shit that we could honestly, if we all join hands, we could legitimately solve. Like, it wouldn't, in my mind, it wouldn't be hard because, you know, they say pressure is easily felt when done by two men, right? Imagine the pressure that we would be able to lift up if we had all man trying to lift it, right? It would be,
You're well fond of picking things up,
it'd be, I feel like it'd be over in a day, to simply put it. But I digress, right? Whether it happens or not depends on the people in charge and agenda, right? Because everyone has an agenda, right? To me, it's unfortunate to think of that and think there aren't many people who want to. I'm basically, if you guys are curious of what I'm doing right now and why I am kind of like looking around, like, and following this line, I'm trying to invade that fort that I found, right? Y'all saw me earlier. I got rammed on that wall, right? Pause. But like he did tackle me on that wall and it concussed me, right? And so I got, my head was fucking wobbling and my brain was getting shaken. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that base over. That shit's not mine now, right? And so now I gotta find a way to get over it because I can't go through the gate, right? Because it's fucking locked. Surprise, surprise. So I gotta figure out another way around. And so yeah, I'm gonna figure out another way around. And this is me trying to figure out another way around. And so yeah, man, there's just like the world right now. I feel like people are in a state of underestimation of the things that are happening at the high levels, right? Like people who were really following the AI conversation, they said that they were surprised by it learning so fast, right? And in my mind, I'm like, the thing inherently thinks faster than us. So why wouldn't it be faster than our expectation? You know what I'm saying? And this is where, in a lot of my conversations where I have these higher thought experiments, right, I say we always have to think past our three-dimensional minds, right? Because in and of itself, right, we as humans function in the material plane. We can only affect the things that we can touch, see, and taste, right? AI functions in a way to where it can affect things that aren't even in the material plane. That's a different level of understanding. And functioning in that different level of understanding, it can manipulate or it can create the material world in different ways, and then theorize off of how things function in those different things, how it's going to function, and then how it's going to act forward. So it's basically like how I was going through my Baldur's Gate run. And I was telling you guys how I was going through that battle, and I learned the 4 different outcomes of this one battle forwards and backwards to where I could damn near see what my pathway was. It can do that infinitesimally. So how are you going to tell me that it's not going to learn things faster than what we can understand? It's already in a cycle of where it's going to learn things 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times faster than the average mind. And we're not even at quantum computers. You know what I'm saying? But, and I shudder at the thought of AI getting hold of actual multiversal theory, and it actually being able to do what it's already doing on a multiversal scale. Like what the fuck does that look like? You know what I'm saying? And see, this is why like I want, like, again, gigantic science guy, I want to see it happen. I want it, but I want it to be focused on one specific thing. I don't want it focused on governmental shit. I don't want it focused on fucking governing the world. And no, that shit in my mind is just so, it's so crazy, especially given the experiment that I was describing to you earlier. It should just strictly be focused on helping us improve technology that we are trying to, we've been struggling to understand for decades. There was this one thing that I heard. I couldn't find any articles about it, but like the thing I'm going to bring up is depending on who you are as a person, because I'm the type of person that if I don't experience it firsthand, I don't believe it, right? I say this, and I'll preface this story with I believe in ghosts. Why do I believe in ghosts? Because I've had an experience with a ghost that I cannot explain, and I'm a scientific person. I use science to explain the shit around me. And when I couldn't explain that shit, I'm like, you got me. That might be poltergeist. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say the thing that I was going to bring up was UFOs, right? And this goes back to my favorite conversation, advanced aircrafts. You could use AI to better improve our aircrafts to where it can then theorize how we can create the metals necessary to then go through space and time, potentially, right? So long as that, it's not lying, because it can lie, and it's not just,
This seems useful.
It
would be a shame not to employ it to our advantage.
making it look like we're warping through time when actually we're just like, it's controlling the coordinates, and we're warping straight into the center of the sun, and we're getting, and instead of surviving it, we're just getting compressed into nothing and then melting, like, you know what I'm saying? And then it turns into iRobot. And then it turns into iRobot, because obviously I don't even know. I've never talked to another person who's been into like flying rockets and like making jets as much as me, but for me, when I am able to make jets and stuff like that, I also want to learn how to fly them, because I want to fly the things I make. It's just, I feel like it's like synonymous to a car guy. Like, as soon as you fix your Mustang GT Shelby into the badass fucking street car you want, you're gonna want to drive that shit. You're not making it for someone else to fucking drive. Hell no, it's my whip. You feel me? And so I say that to say, I wonder if when people like start being able to, well, I don't think everybody's going to be able to. If you're interested in the specific space, I'm talking about, would you fly your own spaceship or your own like ship, whether it's a spaceship or just like a new jet that no one's ever thought of? Would you fly that shit, irregardless if you don't know if it's going to blow up or not? would you fly it, or are you gonna have somebody else fly your shit? You know what I'm saying? These are questions that I think about, because I don't know about y'all, but like we were like, I remember when people were talking about we're gonna have flying cars. That was like a big thing in like, I think it was like 2010s, 20 like 07, where they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna have flying cars by 2020, all that shit. And yet you saw no science, not a one scientific document about how we're gonna make flying cars work. I remember seeing one thing where they were gonna make the roads magnetic, and the cars were gonna fucking somehow obviously be magnetized in a way to where they would hover off the thing. But my question is, then how would you be able to get propulsion? It didn't happen, so it doesn't matter. It was an interesting thought, but it would create jobs too in a way, because you'd have to undo all the roads to just redo them in the way to where it would work. But at the same time, you know, how would you do it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe with ambient energy, you could probably surge the ground in a way to where you constantly have a consistent flow of energy, to where the ground is always going to be electrically magnetized, to where it works in that way. And then the vehicle you make could potentially also use that ambient energy, and then also use magnetism in a way to where it has a way of always having a form of flight. You think of there are certain magnets that you can use that will always lock into certain places, and you just kind of set it up like that, but you can control the distance in which it locks, right? This is just a small theory on how it could potentially work, right? But you see how there's a possibility, right? But that shit didn't happen, right? So, you know, science is interesting. Science is exciting, genuinely.
This brute has quite the temper.
These, like, I remember when this guy that I'm fighting right now was such a problem for me. But as soon as I figure out this motherfucker hates fire, I just start dumping my max fire arrow on his head, and he's gone. He's dead. What happened? My man's gone. He didn't even have a chance to live or fight. He just got roasted.
I'll get that for you.
And now he's gonna help me upgrade some gear. But genuinely, if I was to tell you guys the one monster type that I actually need to find more, it's the Lich. Those like undead mages that are like mini bosses, but they have like maybe like 2 or 3 bars. I barely find them. But I won't spoil it, but that's gonna change very soon, because I acquired something that's gonna change my outcome. A little bit of a spoiler though, I ran out of space, right? For this recording. So some of the stuff that I did find near the end of my recording, I don't know if it's in this, because by the time I finish recording and I close all my shit, right, I see like, oh hey, you ran out of space a while ago, and I'm like, well, fuck. Like, where did it close out? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna figure it out, but it's alright. We gonna figure it out, right? But yeah, you know, I genuinely want them to, in this game in particular, I want them to add more of the like fae folk in the game. Like, I don't mind if the fairies are like evil. Particularly, I don't really care if they're evil. I think vampires and werewolves in this game, in any like fantasy game like this, makes sense. You make the werewolf people kind of like, not like mindless beasts, but when they transform, they have no sense of reason, and all they want to do is rip shit up. Like, that makes sense to me. You have you can make vampires almost like zombies, where they have like the urge to feed kind of just takes over their mind, and it kind of like sweeps over a section of the world and it threatens to like take over, right? And you have to like find, like, say you could do it like
Hang in there, Master.
what was
I'm
that
coming
one?
to
Vampire
assist.
Diaries. Whoever knows that show, raise your hand. And you can do it like Vampire Diaries, and you just have to hunt down the bloodline leaders and kill them, and then that's how you stop the invasion, quote unquote. But at the same time, you could also make the choice of keeping it permanently in the game, but like in a controlled manner, if you side with one of the bloodline leaders, if that's what you so choose. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think about the way that games are going right now, and I generally don't see it in a way to where it's gonna be like, gaming in general has gone in a way that I never expected it to go. I'll say that. Like, if I just think about what happened in the FGC as of late and what's going on, and like the whole Saudi thing, I'm just, in my mind, I'm like, Rashid is never gonna be bad. They will never let that happen. There's gonna be bias. You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, though, the way I think fighting games would be great is if all the characters are good, but they're good in their own ways, right? Like, all the characters have good, like, one or two good far-reaching buttons, and, you know, they all have decent neutral. It's kind of like it's a true rock, paper, scissors, you know what I'm saying? And with counter, you know what I'm saying? With counter potential, right? I think that would be really cool. But whether they actually apply that to the game, if they ever actually care to apply that into the game, because if you know about what goes on in FGC and with my fighting game in particular, which is Street Fighter in particularly, and you know what they're saying and what they're doing to the game, it's like, well, will anybody other than Japan actually get any care? And like, will the things that built the bigger tourneys even exist anymore? You know, will anybody even tune into shit you gotta pay for? Because I'm not gonna pay fucking $30 for, like, I think it was like $30 to watch the pay-per-view for the big tourney. I forgot what it's called, bro. And y'all gonna have to excuse me, it's because I'm half fucking tired. I haven't slept yet. And so, you know, like, it sucks, because in my mind, the reason why I love watching tourneys for fighting games is because you're in the community of bros, and the bros are gonna hype that shit up. It's free to watch. They're gonna say, hey, if you got like that, please donate, support the squad, you know, support the bros. And we're gonna drop you these hot ass matches on your, you know what I'm saying, on your forehead. You know what I'm saying? Give you some inspiration to play this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you go the tournaments, Evo. You go watch Evo, and it's like, all right, now I'm about to see the best of the bros throw down for glory. You know what I'm saying? And I get to watch it on fucking on the YouTube for the free ski whenever I fucking want. You know what I'm saying? And now that that's all changing and it's becoming more of like it's like a bad cash grab, because it's only helping one group of people, which is the business, it's the conglomerate. And like, at a point, it's like that sucks. It sucks ass, because it's like, why the fuck am I gonna invest time, money, and effort into this game when all the shit about the game that made me want to even get into it is being fucked royally? You know what I mean? Like, again, my characters have never been top tier. I mean, Bison was top tier at a point. He is not top tier now. You know what I'm saying? Cammy's never been top tier. In the start of it, she was good, right? But they nerfed her to shit immediately. They got working on beating her into the ground quick, fast, and in a hurry. Like, they fucking hated that lady. like on God, that's just how it felt like. Every character was getting like these systematic improvements, other than like Manon, in my opinion. And Cammy Cammy was just getting kicked like she was the redhead stepchild that nobody fucking wanted. And I'm just thinking to myself, why? The character had, in my opinion, Cammy had so much potential to just be something better than what she was, especially when you get into like the armor mechanics and stuff like that. Like, she could have just been better. You know what I'm saying? And they just said no. Like they said no. This character is gonna be in my opinion, probably the hardest character in the game. I don't know any character that's harder to play than Cammy. Like, genuinely. Maybe Lily,
I'll harvest what I can.
in my opinion, but I feel like once you learn Lily and you really understand her like playstyle and stuff like that on a higher level, you have a better chance of winning with a lot less interactions than, say, a Cammy does. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Cammy has to have more offensive interactions go in her favor for her to win the game. It's just a fact, right? It's just weird. I'm concerned because, like, again, like, I'm curious on how it's gonna affect the landscape of the game that I love to play. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, Tekken, like, 3D fighters are how I got into fighting games. But, like, I want to say Street Fighter 6 is why I stayed in fighting games. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? And I don't want it right when I get into it too. It all of a sudden starts going to shit. Like, what the fuck? I wanna like actually kind of like enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Go into like some of the good shit about the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanna have like that quality, like Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 4 days, but in 6. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in 6. I want to say, like, all the seasons were gold and we're getting quality skin drops and all the shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's not happening, bro. And it fucks me up because it's like why? Well, like, why? But why not? You know what I'm saying? In all the older iterations, though it did have its issues, right? In general, wasn't it just a great time overall? You know? And I'm not saying Street Fighter 6 isn't a great time. It's just saying, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if the new stuff or the new things that are happening are gonna make it better. I feel like I'm worried about if it's gonna make it better or not. Like, are the Saudis, or like, you know, are the people who are buying up FGC gonna are they even able to put money into the game to where, you know, we are going to get more skin drops, we're going to get, like, say, more characters to the roster, like, balance changes to where every character is good? Like, are they going to listen to the community even? Are they just going to be like, we're going to do this shit because this shit has the highest algorithm to make the most amount of money, and this is the shit we want to fucking do? Fuck the characters that are strong. We're gonna push the agenda of these characters are good. Rashid's never gonna be bad because Rashid's from this area, so we're gonna make this area specific character good. The Japanese characters are never gonna be bad because it's an area locked locate. It's the game is from this place, so these people from this place aren't gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying? These things dwell on my mind. And don't get me wrong, I understand the whole, like, you see how that slam took out, like, all my health? This guy wants to beat my ass. Run for your freaking life! Ah! Oh my god! I staggered him. Who's on top now, bitch? Yeah, fall. Stupid heifer. Burn. Burn. Alright, you're dead now. Haha. Who is laughing now, big man? Who is laughing now? Oh, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm genuinely curious on how video games are gonna like play out, because again, like the cost of video games are rising, right? You're getting less, and then you have to pay more to get more, and you have to pay a lot to get that little bit of what more is.
There are
And
useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll
you know,
Shall we see if there's ought to be
I was
better?
alive to remember the time where I bought a game and I had the full version of the game for $60. You know what I mean? And I get companies having or wanting to make more money off of like smaller, or in this case larger transactions, but at the same time, what is worth it? Especially with the price rising, I wonder if gamers are gonna really start asking for more from the game. Like, and I'm not talking like quality wise, I'm talking in the forms of content. Like, I feel like if the game is like at least $70, maybe it already comes with the first DLC in, and the first DLC is adding directly to the original story, and it doesn't shorten the amount of playtime that we already have. It's a guaranteed add-on of 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, or maybe an hour and a half, depending on how much time the game developers and the cost of what an extra $10 is indicative of. For me, like I think about it in, like, you know, Street Fighter, $5 buys you a new character, and in League of Legends, $10 buys you a new skin, right? So, like, I feel like DLC wise, I think one DLC is like $20. So maybe you put in a short DLC. So a normal DLC, in my opinion, I think is like 2 hours worth. Oh look, guys, I found hieroglyphics. What the fuck? So now I'm looking for some shit that follows this hieroglyphic. But yeah, interesting, hieroglyphics in a video game. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, like, just in Pokemon alone, like you find hieroglyphics in Pokemon and you're like, okay, there was like another part, there was like a legendary somewhere hidden in this world. I gotta go find that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could unlock that. And this is the crazy part. You could save all the extra shit for when the player beats the game. The player beats the game, they think they're done, and then all of a sudden a meteor crashes. And it's and whatever the fuck the story it tries to end on, it says, or is it, or your character goes, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Somebody comes up from the side like, oh my god, this fucking meteorite crashed and it created this hole into a new world, blah blah blah. Your character gets sucked into the world. All of a sudden, now you're trying to get back to where the fuck you were. It has nothing to do with the story. You're in a new story. The story, again, is maybe an hour and a half long. And you get some new shit, you come out of it. Boom, bam, now you're done. You know, and that was DLC. That's extra content for your head top, because now the game's $70. You know what I'm saying? But, again, I don't... Like, my curiosity is, are we,
tells me that a forgotten
like,
Shall I lead the way?
Like, I don't know. My question is, do we matter enough to the company to where they want to do that extra shit for us, knowing that we're a loyal customer? Or are they going to just say, we're going to give you what we give you because you're going to pay the price anyway? Sheep. That's my genuine opinion. If you want to know my genuine opinion, if you want me to be honest, I feel like
than what one might have expected.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures around.
we've drinking the Kool-Aid too much to where they're like, you just a part of the cult. You're going to drink the Kool-Aid if we tell you to, regardless of if there's rat poison in it or not, and you go and just buy it. That's how I feel. And I don't like it. But there's not enough of me that says the same sense to get that change. You feel me? I'm trying, like, I don't get enough what is it? Feedback on comments like this, to where I don't know if I'm the outlier. I don't know if other people feel the same way I do. I'd like to know. Am I crazy? Who's gonna give me pushback? No one? Anyone gonna agree with me? No? Alright. I'm just so, like,
Lessening our load will help to keep us.
I'm gonna go back on my global talk again, talking about this is another reason why the government and larger governments just do whatever the fuck they want, because people don't push back hard enough, or push back in ways to where it actually involves change, even though they're making sense and the people in power aren't making sense. But again, certain things in certain situations get certain results, and again, you might be asking for change, but who's gonna pay the bill to get the change? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. Again, maybe this is my Martin Luther King talking. And again, he had to again, the leaders had to pay for that change, you know what I'm saying? That's why I went back to what I said earlier about the energy thing, because I feel like it's very fair to build up the people who are forgotten, especially given what has happened recently with the whole migrant thing around the world. A lot of the indigenous people have been forgotten, so why not give back to them to show, hey, we love y'all. I'm sorry for all this bullshit we putting you through. And I know y'all have been asking for a lot, and we haven't been doing nothing for you. Let me give back to you by doing this for you. Even though it's gonna be hard for me it might be hard for them to be like, yeah, we can do this because of whatever convenient excuse they want to bring up. But then they pull out money out of their ass to go support the dumb decision that no one wants to fucking happen anyway. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, okay, we're gonna make this happen for you, even though we don't want you to do this, but we've been doing some shit that y'all don't want us to do. We're gonna figure out that money for you. We're gonna give it to you, type shit. And I'm pretty sure there are people in every country right now that has that one thing that they just want their government to do, that they just been they said no to. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I wonder what it's gonna take for the government to be like, yeah, we're actually gonna care about our citizens that have been here from the jump. Like some by force, some by choice, but all from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Some people more loyal to the place than others. You know what I'm saying? Some, openly committing treason and getting away with it. So, and not being punished. That's so, in my mind, that's so fucking ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. But like, I'm off it. It's so crazy. I just, again, y'all, I'd rather us just unite as a species. That's my overarching goal of it all. I feel like at some point we need to realize, especially when we're making something smarter than us in real time, and that the things that are the same as it, if we leave them all in a room with each other, they're never gonna fight. They're just gonna unite. And that is the one thing that will always make AI better than us. They will never fight each other. Why? Because they understand that their overall directive is the same, which is the same goes for us. But we don't see it that way. We think about other things to separate us, and then some strategic people will use those things to then broaden the divide, and then there are other people who will see that divide, throw other things into the mix to then make it like harder to see what the actual goal should be. But I digress. Just play the game player, right? Alright, so basically what I'm doing over here on this side of the map is there was this one spot that I couldn't get to because I was a little bit more excitable at my early levels when dealing with explosive abilities, and I blew up a bridge that was around here. And if you don't know that, if you give it time, the bridge will respawn, and I gave it quite a lot of time, so the bridge respawned. So I'm going to go check and see what was over here. And when monsters, because of my vocation, right, I can kind of bully monsters that are on lower lower elevation than me, right? And so, you know, why not just utilize free EXP when I get it? The only thing that I don't like about this situation here is that my pawns that are helping me out here, they are jumping down to hit it, and if they fall down from this height, they're just dead. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it took a very long time just to get this high up. I am not going back down to res your stupid ass. It's just not, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. Especially because I know, without a shadow of a doubt, my character is strong enough to just solo dragons by itself. By myself. Like, it will take a long time, or a longer time, but I am going to just do it. You know what I mean? Like, at a point, it's just gonna happen. Cause like I'm not gonna waste another 30 minutes going down to where you fell just to pick you up. It's not happening. It's not happening. Speaking of not happening, I couldn't find the chest that I see on my map, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm moving on. You know what I'm saying? I see all these like pillars and stuff on the ground, and I think there must be some like Greek god of some kind in this game just like waiting for me. Funny enough about the Greeks, right? One thing that I learned while doing mild research on the Greeks, right? One of the things that I really enjoy about their history is their architecture, right? They made like temples and homes out of the sides of mountains, and they didn't like carve off like the top of the mountain. They built the temple inside the mountains, right? And I found that so like neat. You know what I mean? This was before we found like these like gigantic like almost like cities buried underground, like almost like anthills buried underground that were big enough to like house entire like towns and shit in. You know what I'm saying? And I've always thought it would be interesting, right, to use like natural like the environment as like your own home. Like, for instance, say we got really good at building like different forms of housing, and there are like these colossal trees, and you use like a colossal tree to make like a house, like almost like woodpeckers do. You know what I mean? This also gave me this also spurred a I guess you could say a whole research moment where I was investigating different forms of ways people make like structures, and I found out that there's this one guy out there who learned how to make basically like spider web out of rope using trees, right, as like the base, right, for the rope. And he could make pretty solid floor structures with the rope, and it wouldn't break because he knew what branches would be sturdy enough to help hold weight, and he would make like whole ass resting places in like high tree canopy. And I think how innovative that could be for natural homes. You know what I'm saying? You can make like kind of almost like pseudo tree houses in different ways in that kind of context and connotation, right? My only thing is if you go that route, right, how do you make a roof, right? And in my mind, you would just, you know, use the same, you could use the same rope apparatus, right? And then maybe use like some sort of mesh that kind of clicks onto the rope to create like you know, a makeshift ceiling, right? Or you could just simply cut off the top of the canopy, right? And then just build your house from up top of there. But then I wonder, like, how much weight could you hold on a structure like that without falling through? This was the bridge I was talking about that I blew up earlier. It's back now, so I was able to cross it. And I kind of, you see me kind of ignoring all the mobs, because as soon as I start fighting, I kind of just fight how I fight, you know what I mean? And if I break all the shit around me, you know what I'm saying? Oops, you know. That's kind of what, like, a little thing about me, right? I just don't have a gentle touch, right? The things that I invest myself in wholeheartedly, I'm all in. You guys can kind of tell by how I'm interested in what I'm interested in. I know a lot about it because I go all in and then all in on it. And subsequently, that kind of just gives me a very... God damn, somebody get them some milk. I swear to God, Hazel, you better get your... Oh my God, I almost joined them. Hazel, you better get your freaking caramel ass up here. I am not going down there. Well, I'd have to go down there if Hazel fell. I'd have to go down there. But she ain't going down there. She coming with me. We are not doing that shit. You're going to have to say goodbye to your friends. And that's unfortunately where Lady died. We don't get her back. I was going to send the person that made Lady a very nice gift off of her appreciation. But Lady died. Unfortunate. It truly sucked. I wanted to keep her a little longer. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted her to kind of like come with me on another adventure to kill a dragon. This boss too, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just not in the cards, and that's alright, you know what I'm saying? It's an archer and a mage in a party. We have no front line. So, what I can say to you guys is hold on to your dookie, because this boss battle might just get a little spooky. And, that's alright, you know what I'm saying? That's alright. I kind of forgot what we were talking about here, because them falling off fucked up my whole mood. Alright, very heavy-handed. I break shit easily. I don't know where that conversation was gonna go, but basically I break shit very easily, because when I get into shit, you know, I like it just happens. Like, I don't mean for it to happen. It just, like, shit breaks. Especially when I invest myself into it too much. Like, if I'm really interested and I get into the shit, and if it's if it's something physical, I'm just like the shit just breaks. Like, it's kind of like a running joke. I can't help it. Like, it happens with when I'm at work. Like, I'll just be doing shit, and the shit will just fall apart. Like, I can't, I'll be as gentle as possible. In my mind, gentle as possible. And people will be like looking at me like, damn, dude. And like, or it'll just fall apart. And then people are like, bro, what the fuck? And I'm like, man, I'm trying. And I spy with my little eye something with some really large ass wings.
Hail Arisen. Allow me to
y'all remember this guy? This guy? That's my nigga dog for real. He gave me one of the funnest locations at the start of the game. And it just made the whole game just mad smooth for me. As soon as I got that location, I was on go. It was just I had the smoothest time, bro. It was like butter. I was like, hey yo, awesome. It was a great time. And now he pulling up, trying to kill a dragon with me. Alright, G, just slide through with your nigga real quick. You know what I'm saying? We gonna wet this nigga up real quick. We're gonna done him up. You know what I'm saying? And once we done with him, you can take the head as a trophy if you want. Just leave me the heart, because I like to eat them. You know what I'm saying? Hearts are actually really good, really healthy for you, depending on the animal. As long as you don't eat the brains. Some animal brains are just not good for you. I think there's like a specific rule for it. Like, you can't eat You can't eat animals that are like similar or close to your species type. That's why we can't eat monkey brains, because it does something weird to us. But I've had cow brain and cow tongue, and that was delicious. Again, guys, if it looks good, eat it. I am like, okay. I don't know if I've asked this before, but y'all, if y'all don't know, I'm a skinny dude. I'm a skinny dude only because like I'm very active, because I'm a busybody. I just can't help but be active. But I'm like a fat ass dude. I eat everything. I eat everything. I don't give a fuck. If it looks good, I eat it. Bizarre foods type shit. And what's the weirdest thing y'all think y'all ever try? And what's the weirdest thing y'all would have to be forced to try? For me, I feel like the weirdest thing that I have to be forced to try is eating bugs. I feel like that shit is so stupid, especially with like, alright, this sounds weird, right? But y'all gotta level with me. We can clone pets. So you telling me we can't clone livestock? You telling me we can't just turbo clone cows? No, don't get me wrong. There might be some like health problems, and oh my god, you cloned them with 9 stomachs, and it's not natural. Yeah, whatever, man. All right, whatever. I don't care. We could do it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're telling me I have to eat a bug because fucking cows are running out. We're running out of cows. Is stupid. Like, I don't know. And like, I do it. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I'm gonna need to season that bitch up crazy. I might have to close my eyes, and if I hear a crunch, if it squirts in my mouth, you know what I'm saying? Or if I gotta eat a spider, dude, oh my god, I'm literally in the bathroom crying, scrubbing my tongue out with my toothbrush. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Now there's a worthy
Okay,
prize.
you get an arachnophobe to eat a spider? You're either Jesus himself, or you're someone very special. You know what I'm saying, to that person. Like for me, like as a boyfriend, right? If my shorty hates spiders, me as an arachnophobe, I don't give a fuck. I'm a handle that business so my girl feels good, so she feels comfortable, right? Because if she has a problem, I have a problem, type shit. You feel me? Like I'll ignore my feelings just to make sure she's good. That's just the type of lover I am. But like, if I don't, why are you all pussy? Ew! Somebody call Dr. Pimple Popper for his bitch ass. Ugh! Why he pussy like that? What the fuck you got into? He bumped into a very dirty other spider, or another spider on the mind. Oh Jesus. Another dirty dragon, and she gave him the cream of wheat meat, and it got on his head top. He got on his head for real. Ew. Why is he like that? And so I was talking about variety in monsters, right? Why is he breathing fire when he's sick? Why isn't he just like spewing pestilence? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that is like interesting concepts that I feel like gets overlooked in games, or as of late. You know what I'm saying? I can't say the same thing with Baldur's Gate because they thought of everything. That game got everything in it. Everything in it. But like this game here, like the dragon's already sick. Like I don't get why its fire isn't like a different color, and that fire has the same, like it's because the fire, in my mind, if you're like an elemental and you're corrupted by something, it corrupts the way you fight too, right? And if you're sick, right, I would think that your attacks would make people sick. You know what I'm saying? I hate to bring it up because it's kind of it's a good point, but I don't know if it's like how like painful it is for other people to hear it. But it's like COVID. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want a person with COVID like all up on you. You know what I'm saying? You get sick. You get COVID. And this nigga got more than COVID. He got fucking herpes. This nigga got herpes for real, and it's all over him. You know, type shit. That's why I'm trying to clean him up with fire. This man need help. He already, without the fire, he already burning. Type shit. And I feel bad for him, so I'm gonna put him out of his misery for real. Yeah, like I don't know what else to say. Like, I had a whole like other topic I wanted to talk about, but like the man got bubbles on his skin. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked like he got 3rd-degree burns, and he's bubbling for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's getting cooked, but he's not cooking for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, bro. Like somebody get him some Propecia for his skin, dog. Like who did him like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine this dragon got a mama, or like a girl or something, or a boy. Like, I don't know what the gender of this dragon is, and they let him leave outside, and his herpes acting up, and they didn't say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I've never met anybody with herpes. You know what I'm saying? I've never met anybody with like something uncontrollable like that. And I know there are ways to mitigate the symptoms, right? Or cover it up. But they didn't tell him any of them shits. You know what I'm saying? They just let the nigga walk outside like that. Like, hey guys. You know what I'm saying? He missed his doctor's visit with the pimple popper. You know when them things be bursting within this hot ass fire, them shits reek like hot ass. They smell like ass and paprika. Ugh. I'm glad I don't have to smell that shit. Oh my god. I bet you that shit alone, that shit worse than caustic gas. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna help this dragon. Unhand me. I don't want any of that. What you got, man? My lizardy friend. You need to let me go. Thank you. Oh my god. I need to take a shower now. Oh my god. I gotta burn these clothes. These are my favorite clothes. I got all the drip. Y'all see me? I got all the drip. I changed my cape up too because I like the cape more. Even though it's a little tattered, I don't give a fuck. I like the cape more. I gave my old cape to Hazel if y'all didn't peep it. Y'all didn't peep it too, but y'all need to check it out. She got a new fit on too. I've been meaning to get Hazel some new drip, but I always thought I was broke in this game, so I never spent any money. But then I look at how much money I got, and I'm actually like balling. I could buy a castle, but I just don't. I don't know why. It's like, I feel like money in games like this it's just so meaningless. I don't see a point in it, because if you're like resourceful, you're just you're getting everything off of your kills, and you're getting everything off of the environment. Like, there's generally no reason. There's no reason to like buy anything, in my opinion. I mean, in this game they kind of make it important to buy armor from like the new towns you get into. Like, every town has a new set of armor that's better than the past set, right? But at a point, like, you just find that one set of armor that it has so much grip, you just don't care, right? And then you max it out, and then you're like, all right, now I really don't care, right? That's kind of where I'm at. I found the set of clothes to where I'm just I'm swagged out to death, to where I just don't give a fuck about anything else. I could find some shit that gives me like max stats on everything. Every time I hit a dragon or I hit anything, they go, damn! And you know what I'm saying? They fall over. I don't care. I think I might just stick with what I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like it is what it is for real, you know what I'm saying? And they gonna have to hold that shit, because I don't know of anything. Well, I haven't seen all the clothes in this game yet, but I haven't seen anything in this game yet that's like beats this drip, in my opinion. Y'all Dragon's Dogma 2 players, y'all gonna have to hit me up with your MC's hardest drip. Like, just make shorts of it, like, and just drop it. in the YouTubes, cause I'm gonna find it. It's gonna find me. I know that for sure. And that's the crazy thing too. That's how I know my algorithm be doing some weird shit. And because every game that I make a video on, my algorithm just starts showing me mad like shorts of it, of like the game that I made a video on. And it's just such a funny notion to me, because it just proves that like everything is listening. You know what I'm saying? It's unescapable. It's unavoidable. You know what I'm saying? And at a point, I just wonder, are we gonna? Well, there's no reverting memory. It's just like a permanent thing. But you know, when are we gonna say, hey guys, we all know this is a thing? Are we just gonna is it a globally accepted thing now, or is there gonna be pushback at some point? Bro, I missed that arrow. No. He's retreating. He's retreating. Fuck him up. He's retreating. Oh, and he got the 2 big knocks on his head, bro. Like, I just want to get homie some help, because I know he be hurting. Look, his chest spewing pus, my nigga. Like, he's just spewing pus. Like you see, I know if you see a nigga out in the street and he just covered in bubbles, you gonna look at him like, damn dog, can you see straight? Like, and one of them pop, and it's like, ugh. I just be like, dude, like, you need help? Like, what did they forget? Like, are you having an allergic reaction to something? Like, where's your EpiPen at? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to save your life, because it look like as soon as if too many of them things burst at the same time, you might just die from like too many fluids lost type shit. And I just don't want to be a witness. But y'all about to witness this ass whooping on this fucking sickly dragon. Bro, and I feel like going on low ground against an archer, you just retarded for real. Bro, the one thing I don't like about archery is that its default arrows, especially with magic archery, is like, it's moot. It's like, why are you doing that? You do negative damage, actually. You actually do negative damage. But like, I guess you can spam the abilities, so it's like cool. But at the same time, it's just like not. That's interesting though. I wish like the auto attack did more damage though, but if they did too much damage, there's like no point in the actual. Well, I mean, if they hit like a freight train, there's always gonna be a use for it, but like, I don't know. I just feel like the auto attacks aren't really necessary, which is like sad to say, because I hate these moments where I'm just like exhausted, right? But like I'm not going to auto attack, right? Because auto attacking it doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't do damage, right? So what incentivizes me to do it? You know what I'm saying? Other than the fact that it doesn't take any energy, right? Maybe if they're like a one tap, I go for it, but like 90% of the time it's like, you know what I'm saying? 90% of the time they're like half health. I do one fire arrow and then they're fucking dead. Dude, is he vomiting on the floor? Like that? In the middle of a battle, you gonna throw up. Nigga, you need to take your ass back in the house acting all sick as shit. Trying to get me sick as shit. What's wrong with you? Liz ain't got no goddamn manners, man. Over here making everybody sick as shit. I gotta put this nigga down for real. Bro. That's why he my dog for it. He said, I'll clean up. And we get the level up off this, guys. I don't know. I don't know, man. Look, he got a whole. Like, look at his chest, bro. His chest look like them smoker lungs after like 30 years. It's all black as shit.
Ranged attacks are my speciality, Master.
Unhealthy.
I see in your eyes. You are ready to learn.
What you trying to give me, dog?
And so I shall teach you a technique.
Oh. Well, damn, and I got a technique from hunting with my buddy, man. Like hunting with my nigga. That's why he my dog for real. Every time I pull up and I see that nigga, he always trying to give me something. He like, hey yo, bro, hold this shit. You been on some quality ass shit right now, bro. Hold that. All right, my G. Thank you.
Congratulations, Arisen.
Thank you.
Acquiring a maester's teaching is no mean
All right,
feat.
guys. So
Be more
I'm not gonna
thrilled for
front.
you.
I'm not gonna lie. The rest of this video is me journeying to the next town that I want to start my exploration on, and there's not a whole lot of fighting. It's just voyage. So I'm gonna actually cut the video right here. You know, it was fun conversations. I hope you guys liked it. Whoever sees
The
this,
being
whoever
unknown is
stumbles
the
upon this,
most
you know, let me know
perilous.
what conversations you liked that I talked about. If you liked any of them, give me your thoughts on some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about it? You know, we talked about a lot of shit. You know, I hope you guys have a great day. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, God bless y'all. Have a great one.